Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON founder Acharya, BBT founder Acharya Seva the whole world Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 19. King Yayati achieves liberation. Text number 17. Matra Swastra Duhitra Va Matra Swastra Duhitra Va Na Avivikta Asana Bhaved Na Vivikta Asano Bhaved Balavan Indriya Gramaha Balavan Indriya Gramo Vidvamsam Api Karshati Vidvamsam Api Karshati Matra Swastra Duhitra Va Na Vivikta Sano Bhaved Balavan Indriya Gramo Vidvamsam Api Karshati Matra Swastra Duhitra Va Na Vivikta Sano Bhaved Balavan Indriya Gramo Vidvamsam Api Karshati. Matra with one's mother, Swasra with one's sister, Duhitra with one's own daughter, Va either, Na not, Avivikta Asanaha seated closely on one seat, Bhaved one should be, Balavan very strong, Indriya Gramaha the group of senses, Vidvamsam the very learned and advanced person, Api even, Karshati agitates. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Abhaya Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. One should not allow oneself to sit on the same seat even with one's own mother, sister or daughter, for the senses are so strong that even though one is very advanced in knowledge, he may be attracted by sex. Can I repeat the translation? One should not allow oneself to sit on the same seat even with one's own mother, sister, or daughter. For the senses are so strong that even though one is very advanced in knowledge, he may be attracted by sex. Purport. Learning the etiquette of how to deal with women does not free one from sexual attraction. As specifically mentioned herewith, such attraction is possible even with one's mother, sister, or daughter. Generally, of course, one is not sexually attracted to his mother, sister, or daughter. But if one allows himself to sit very close to such a woman, one may be attracted. This is a psychological fact. It may be said that one is liable to be attracted if he is not very advanced in civilized life. However, as specifically mentioned here, vidvamsam apikarshati, even if one is highly advanced materially or spiritually, he may be attracted by lusty desires. The object of attraction may even be one's mother, sister, or daughter. Therefore, one should be extremely careful in dealings with women. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was most strict in such dealings, especially after he accepted the sannyasa order. Indeed, no woman could come near him to offer him respect. Again, one is warned herewith that one should be extremely careful in dealings with women. A brahmachari is forbidden even to see the wife of his spiritual master if she happens to be young. The wife of the spiritual master may sometimes take some service from the disciple of her husband, as she would from a son. But if the wife of the spiritual master is young, a brahmachari is forbidden to render service to her. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport and translation to Canto 9, Chapter 19, Text 17 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is a very strong verse spoken by King Yayati. And this verse may come as a shock and surprise to practically all the people who hear this. And you may even think that it may not be true. This is too much of an projection of a human's tendency to be attracted by opposite sex. So here King Yayati is saying, Matra swasra duhitra va na avivikta asanaha bhavet. King Yayati's advice to human beings is that na avivikta asanaha bhavet. One should not sit very close to whom? Matra, with one's own mother. Swasra, with one's own sister. Duhitra, with one's own daughter. Both ways. A man should not sit very close, even with his own mother, or with his sister or daughter, or the other way, as I said, mother, sister, or daughter should not sit with their own close family member if it happens to be a male. Why? Because here it is said, Balavan Indriya Gramaha. Indriya Grama. Indriya means senses. Grama means village or a group of people. So Prabhupada translates Indriya Grama as group of senses. See how beautifully Prabhupada explains. So Grama means group of people. Grama cannot be only one person is there. A group of people. Groups of people. So group of senses. Indriya Gramaha. So Balavan. So we have group of senses. Two groups of senses we have. The knowledge acquiring senses and the working senses. So two group of senses. And then there is one more boss of both these groups called the mind. So mind with the knowledge acquiring senses and the working senses all put together are the group of senses. Indriya Gramaha. Balavan. They're very strong. Hmm? The word is used, these senses are very strong. You may say, Prabhu, I'm very physically weak. You can see me, right? I'm so thin, I'm so weak. And somebody who's very fat will think is very strong. Senses are very strong. No. That is not the calculation of how much your senses are strong. Whether physically you are fit, this many kg, you are overweight, 120 kg, you're supposed to be 80 kg, you're 120 kg. It's too much, way beyond. That is not the understanding here. Balavan Indriya Gramaha. You may look very, very thin and lean, but your appetite for sex may be very, very, very high. Your hunger for interacting with opposite sex or fulfilling your lusty desire may be very prominent. So Balavan Indriya Gramaha. The senses are very strong for any conditioned soul. So because they're very strong, there is every possibility, not a possibility, every possibility that the desire to enjoy lusty desire may awaken even in the association of one's own mother, sister, or even one's own daughter. Somebody may think this must be an uncivilized person, uncultured person, or a person who's not in knowledge. But Shastras is saying no. Vidvamsam apikarshati. Vidvamsam means one who is very learned, civilized, culture, well trained, even if he has undergone training under a bona fide spiritual master, even including that criteria. That's why the word api is used. Even if he is learned, cultured, civilized, careful, alert, well trained, well behaved, all these things it means still karshati. The senses and the mind will agitate. You can just imagine the sensitivity and the seriousness being explained here by Maharaja Yayati and Srimad Bhagavatam. So somebody may think he must be a very, very, uncultured person. No, even if he's very cultured, still the urge for uniting with opposite sex will awaken even with one's own mother, sister, or daughter. What do you speak of other woman? That's the next question. Even if there is sex impulse with one's own mother, sister, or daughter who are highly respectable, then what do you speak of other woman? And it is also not a question of age. This desire for sex can be triggered even if the opposite sex is even a small girl or an old woman. We may think only beautiful woman or a beautiful girl. Either way, for a man it is woman, for a woman it is man. Either way, we may think maybe beautiful woman, not necessary. Maybe an old woman also. Sometimes we'll think as we become old, we'll overcome all this lust. Many people say that. Swamiji, after become old, I think I will naturally become detached. Vairagya will come. Actually, it doesn't happen. No. According to the scriptures and according to reality and psychology of this body, how it is constructed, the way this body is constructed, this desire of bhoga, enjoying tendency, will not disappear by age automatically. That disappear by age automatically. And it may be anyone on the other side. The desire to enjoy is very strong. Then we don't care for rules, regulations, dharma. The intelligence becomes bewildered. The mind will overtake the intelligence. That's why we say, don't you have intelligence? Don't you have sense? Sometimes the parents will say, buddhi la ninke. Sometimes no. Not only for this, many other situations they say, have you lost your intelligence? That is a fact. Not that he was a crude person or a less intelligent person or not a trained, not a knowledgeable person. He has all the knowledge, he has all the training. Even with that, the mind will overpower the intelligence. This is described in the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter itself. The mind will overpower the intelligence. Just like the example is given in the Bhagavad Gita, that a strong wind can divert the movement of the boat from its destination. A strong wind can take the boat to a different direction. Similarly, a strong mind can take away the intelligence of even a self-controlled person or a yogi. Yogi is one who is self-controlled. There's one more meaning of the word yogi. Yogi is not one who does physical exercise, simply lifting the hands and legs and putting the head down and the legs top. He's not a yogi. This is more or less a kind of circus it is. Anybody can do that. Yogi is different. Yogi means one who has control over his senses. It's called a yogi. So even a yogi can fail. Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita. Forget normal person, cultured person, civilized person also. Here Krishna is saying even a person who's a yogi who's endeavoring to control the senses and already in that path, even he fails. You want to speak of a common man who has no knowledge, no idea, never practiced sense control. You think he'll be fully controlled in the presence of a woman or woman in the presence of man? Not possible. So that is the risk explained here. So senses are very strong. They can divert one's intelligence also. So Balavan Indriya Grama, therefore the senses are very, very strong. We have to be extremely careful in dealing with these senses, especially in the conditional life. We cannot be overconfident. There's one more famous reference in the Bhagavatam. This example is given. Just like a hunter, when he captures forest animals, he keeps them captive. But even though he keeps them captive, he is always alert whether it will run away. Always he is alert. He is not peaceful that, okay, now the forest animal is captured. It is under my captive. I can rest peacefully. Actually, a hunter will not sleep peacefully, especially when there's a captive animal with him. He will always be alert because he knows any moment or opportune moment the animal may escape. Similarly, Bhagavatam is saying, even if the yogi has succeeded in controlling his senses, first of all, it is not easy. Even if he has succeeded in controlling his senses, still he will have one eye towards the senses, always observing what these 10 fellows are doing. Now you give a personality to these 10 senses, okay? Then it is easy for you to operate. See, for us, everything looks to be very vague, right? Control the senses, be alert, be careful. How do you really do that? Because the senses, I don't catch them, right? I don't see them. I cannot hold them. That's why I give a personality to the senses. Assume that there are 10 people under you and you are the head. Under you, there are 10 people and each have a particular function, particular work to do. Now, you have to monitor them constantly. Not that you can give the work and you can go away. In fact, more people you have under you, generally the tendency is people think, okay, I have 10 people to do my work. I have 10 works and I have 10 people to do. Actually, your work has become even more loaded because you have to monitor 10 people now. Earlier, you have to monitor only yourself, whether you are doing the work or not. Now you have 10 times anxiety, whether they're going to do or not. So you have 10 senses. It can be a great asset. Just like 10 people can be a great asset, can be a big problem also if you don't monitor. So we cannot just rest because everything is being done by everybody. No, the responsibility is more. Especially when it comes to senses. 10 senses are there. It's a great asset. It's a great asset. But we have to be always alert what these 10 persons called the senses are doing. Where is he going? What is he doing? Constant monitoring is needed. And constant correction is needed. Otherwise, they will go astray. One day, they will form a union. Just like we have union, 100 people are there. And they will overthrow even the chairman when the union becomes strong. We have seen that, right? Exactly when the senses group together, gather together, and their combined strength will overthrow even the mind and intelligence. Then the intelligence will have no role to play. The soul will be completely trapped and arrested. But it will not happen overnight. See, this groupism happens little, build up, build up, build up, build up, build up, build up. This is psychology, right? We have seen that by experience. Similarly, these senses also, from day one, we have to be alert. Just like from day one, what standards the company sets for its employees, and it has to be monitored. Now, we have to address their needs, their difficulties, their challenges, and they have to be rooted away. Just like there is a saying, mm, you have to nib it at the very beginning stage. Cut off at the very beginning stage. Things are fine. But if you allow it to grow and then you try to cut it, it may not work. So the sense is, from the beginning, if we are trained, then it is possible to keep them under control. But if we are not worked on it, the senses will go stronger and stronger. Just like you feed your body every day with food, it grows, right? And then you give rich food, ghee, butter, dry fruits, it grows fatter. physically also, in terms of even the strength also. Exactly that when you feed the senses with anarthas, it will become fatter and stronger. If you feed the senses, but generally the recommendation is you should make the senses starve or give its basic need. Just like the body, you have to give nutritional value to the body as much needed, but not so much that cholesterol increases, that sugar increases, but not that you cannot eat sugar or sweet, or you cannot eat any oily stuff. You can eat oil stuff, you can eat sweets, but everything in a controlled, regulated manner. Exactly like that, what the senses need. The basic needs of the senses have to be provided, but not to the extent that will lead to cholesterol of the senses. The senses become diabetic. Then it's a hell lot of work you have to do to bring it to normal state. So we have to be alert. Yet Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, even after regulating, just like the cholesterol is in the your eating is in control, still Krishna says, just like even though your sense is regulated, still Krishna says, you should not uh, take it, you should not become relaxed that now everything is fine. No, because there Krishna gives the example, just like in the purport Prabhupada explains, just like even in a royal road, there is an accident possible. Royal road means, you know what is royal road? This term is used always, royal road, royal road. What is royal road? Royal road is actually the road where only the king moves. In that road, nobody else can move. Just like in our temple, we are planning a Ratha Vidhi. I was telling yesterday somebody, planning a Ratha street. In that road, only Ratha will pass and nothing else will pass. It's called Ratha Vidhi. Udupi also it is there. Around the temple is a Ratha Vidhi. The Rath will go. When the Rath goes, nothing else goes. So we are planning a Ratha street around our entire 9-acre campus. It's a grand road for the Lord to have his procession and have a stroll. Hmm? He doesn't have to bother with the traffic and then, hey, Ratha is coming, move, 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 move. Hey, king is coming, prime minister, move, move. Nothing. Whole road is cleared off, right? We have seen when the prime minister comes, when the chief minister comes, practically half the city roads are blocked. Everything is cleared off, right? So, so the king moves in a certain road, and that road is not used by anyone. Royal road. So the saying is, even in royal road, accident is possible. Just like we say highways, even highways accident is possible, and we've seen that. Like that, even if the senses are regulated, there is always every possibility that the senses may fail. If you ask why, that is how the constitution of the material senses are. It is a make. You cannot comment anything about that. It is a make. Just like Maruti 800 is a make. Lamborghini is a make. It is a make. No, you cannot change that. The engine of Lamborghini, the engine of Maruti 800 is different. You cannot do anything about it. Why? People always keep fighting with this argument. Why, Prabhu? Why, Prabhu? Why, Prabhu? Why like this? Why like this? It is a make. Now you want a better make? Then you pay the price. Get Lamborghini. Pay the price for that. So these material senses will behave like this only. We have seen, not to mention the name, but just to understand the fact and reality, one of the former prime ministers, it was said that he was implicated with his own mother. And some also say he was implicated with his daughter also. So even a person of the stature of a prime minister gets implicated in this complication. And we have seen that even till date, we have seen recent news also. How even a president of a country, a prime minister of a country is implicated with a woman, or a woman implicated with a man. Even of that stature, high-ranking officials. Who want to speak of ordinary men like us, common man like us? Can we take a chance? Can we be neglectful? Can we be overconfident? So these are directions for us or warning for us. We cannot take things for granted. No, 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 no. I am not a nonsense like that. I am not so misbehaved, or I am not from that kind of family. Then you mean the Prime Minister was from that kind of family? Not a yogi is from that kind of family? Not necessarily. King Yayati, well trained in Vedic culture, and still he fell prey. But very soon he realized his mistake. Very soon he realized mistake, and then he withdrew from all these things and focused his mind on the Supreme Lord. We will see that in the upcoming verses. Now one may say, okay, maybe he has not practiced sense control. Krishna warns even that no. There's one more verse in the Bhagavad Gita. In the 6th chapter, text number 19, Krishna says, Yatha dipo nimatasto nengate sopama smrita yogino yata chittasya yunjato yogamatmanaha. What is Krishna saying here? See the minute details which Krishna is explaining. That's why if you read Bhagavad Gita very carefully, very minutely, so many things we will miss out upon all these points. So Krishna is saying, Yatha, just like Deepa Nivatastaha, just like Deepa, a lamp. Nivatastaha. Nivatastaha means a place which is without wind, without the action of wind, movement of wind. So Yatha Deepa Nivatastaha, just like a lamp in a windless place, what will happen? It will not waver, right? Na ingate. Ingate means to waver. Na ingate means does not waver. Just like in a lamp in a windless place will not waver. Its flame will be straight up. Sa upama smrita. So this is a simile, a comparison. Upama means comparison. Smrita, similarly, just like a lamp in a windless place does not waver. Similarly, it is said, Yogina yata chittasya. A yogi, yata chittasya. Yatha means to have controlled. Chittasya means is consciousness. So yogina yata chittasya. When a yogi has controlled his mind or consciousness, how did he do that? Yunjataha. By engaging, by applying in yogamatmanaha, in meditation on the Supreme. So he has achieved the control of his senses and mind by applying his senses, diverting his senses, directing his senses towards the Supreme Lord. In that way, he has controlled his mind and senses. Then it will not waver. As a lamp in a windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist, whose mind is controlled, remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendental self. Now, Prabhupada explains, but even if there is small wind, immediately you will see the reaction that the fire will start wavering. The fire in the lamp will start wavering. Immediately. You can see whether there is wind or not by lighting a lamp. To the minutest degree, you can know whether wind is there or not. Immediately it will start shaking. Exactly like that, you can actually observe how your senses are working by whether the senses are attracted by sense objects, deviated by sense objects. To what degree that you know when the wind is blowing like anything, the fire in that lamp also will move, will shake too much. So much so that many times it will be put off also, isn't it? Like that. Similarly, when the senses are too much agitated by the sense objects, it will give way. It will give way. That means it will be fall down. Therefore, here it is said, Balavan Indriya Gramaha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, instructing us, actually, of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said for himself, but actually it is referring to us. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came as a devotee, in the role of a devotee. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking here. He is telling, if I see even the wooden form of a woman, my senses become agitated. Okay, that is a fact. You see even a picture of a woman, or in a billboard, or a mannequin as you pass in the road, or some photo of a woman, or some mobile pic, immediately the senses are deviated. Either way, for a man it is woman, for a woman it is man. So long the enjoying tendency is there in the heart. If that enjoying tendency is removed, is purified, then there is no danger. But so long the enjoying tendency is there, so long we are practitioners, we are not trained ourselves, we are not purified our senses, then we should always be careful. So even a wooden form, mannequin form, picture form, it all mean the same. We know how senses are little disturbed. Therefore, Shastras recommend Maitunyam Agaram Agyaha. Then how do we deal? Can we close our eyes? Can we close our eyes and walk and do our work? Not possible. Can we say, oh Mataji, don't come, don't talk. Oh Prabhuji, don't talk. So what is the practical way? So Maitunyam Agaram Agyaha. It is said, I'm sorry, not that. Yavad Artha Vyavaharet. So this is the formula. Yavat Artha Vyavaharet. So as much needed, that much interaction and association. That's all. As much it is required. This is the exact word. Just like salt, as much is required. Not less, not more. Business is over. You can go. I also go. We don't have to sit together. Indian Samachara. What else? Matter is over. Simply you are dragging. Oh, what else? What else? What else? No, what else? Matter is over. So only for serious business, they can come together. Matter is over. We depart. That's all. No sitting and socializing or no other discussions other than just what is necessary. This is the formula. Otherwise, Shastras say, Maitunyam agaramagyaha. Shastras say that we are arrested in this world. How? Just like a person who's an outlaw or not following the state laws, he is imprisoned by iron shackles, by a guard, a police officer. He's imprisoned. His hands are tied up by iron shackles. Like that, Shastras is saying, as they are locked up who don't follow the state law, similarly, all the conditioned souls are locked up by the shackles of sex life. So long one is attracted to this enjoying mentality, one should actually know he is not healthy. He is a sick man. He is diseased. So long the tendency to enjoy the senses remain, he is not a liberated soul. He is not a liberated soul. And how he can be a guru and acharya? So many people are claiming to be guru and acharya. First of all, basically one should have controlled the sex desire 100%. This is a basic qualification, not the ultimate qualification of the acharya. Not the ultimate qualification of the acharya. Basic qualification for being a yogi or a sadhu. Otherwise, you're not even a sadhu, not even a saintly person. Forget being an acharya. Acharya is the best of the saintly persons. Best of the saintly persons. The person is not even a sadhu. How he can be an acharya or a guru? So we should check whether he is 100% free from sex desire. Desire to enjoy the senses. So therefore, in the Indian culture, there have been restriction as far as the intermingling of man and woman is concerned. We never bring man and woman together. They cannot sit together. Here it is said, avivikta asanaha. Asana means a sitting place. They cannot sit next to each other in one seat. They have to sit apart. And that's why we have in ISKCON, we have systems. Sometimes people misunderstand us. Oh, what are these people? Why are they separating man and woman? Yes, that is culture. Man and woman have to sit separate. So much so that in the Vedic culture, Prabhupada said in Calcutta, in the 19th century, we're not telling prehistoric age. Recent, just few decades back. Prabhupada's time, not in Prabhupada's time, even today, this is being practiced in cultured families. What is that? Of course, Prabhupada was quoting Calcutta. In his childhood, when Prabhupada was a young boy, during his childhood, even in his own home and many other homes, there are different quarters for man and woman, even if they're husband and wife. And during the day, the husband and wife will not see each other. All through the day, they will not see, they will not meet, they will not see each other. And wife stays in another room, husband stays in another room, not because they're not married. This is after marriage we are talking. They don't see. That is the standard. There is called what is called as male section, female section. During daytime, even the husband cannot meet the wife. That is the restriction. Is it an outsider? No, husband. What is the business? What business you have? Today, outsiders also we don't question that. Here, husband is being questioned. What is your business? Or husband question wife. What is your business? What do you want? Over, no? You can go. Yavad artha vyavaharet is the formula. Because only then, only for important purpose they come together. This is what exactly Krishna meant by saying. What is that in Bhagavad Gita? Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bhartarshabha. So by applying this standard, that is applied. Because one always will think how that sex life not contrary to the principles of dharma is Krishna. Because this is how they live. Only for the purpose of procreation, they come together. Imagine how their consciousness will be so bright. Then when they unite, there will be a divine personality who will appear. A girl or a boy. Girl means like Draupadi, she will take birth. Boy means like Parikshit, he will take birth. Or like Arjuna. You want a hero? Hero like Arjuna will take birth. You want a strong man? Bhima will take birth. Whichever quality you prefer, you can choose which son, which daughter you want. By divine arrangement. These are all transcendental, actually these are all material dynamics. Preparing one's consciousness. By purifying the senses. In the material transactions, in the material dynamics, miracles can happen. So that is why Prabhupada says, to be safe, we have to make this restriction. It is not hatred towards woman or towards man. Most people are thinking, oh, this is expression of hatred. It's not hatred. It is respect and protection. They'll also be happy. We'll also be happy. Today, so much problems because of this mixing, free mixing, intermingling. So much problems. For both man and woman, very, very serious, unsolvable problems. Unsolvable problems. All these things can be avoided. That is why in the Gurukula system, children are trained from childhood. Just like from childhood, if you teach somebody Hare Krishna, very easily he'll pick up Hare Krishna as he grows. It becomes natural for him. Similarly, from childhood, if you feed the children to see every woman other than one's wife. Of course, as a child, you don't know what is wife anyway. But from childhood, if you teach every woman to address the woman as mother, then it is very easy. Because generally the idea is With mother, at least that sex impulse does not arise. But still one should be on guard, as this verse says. But normally that sex impulse will not awaken in the presence of one's mother. Therefore it is said, not Behenji. In Maharashtra they say, Behenji, Behenji. No Behenji, Mata, Mataji. That's why actually, Mumbai, how the word came, actually Bombay is Apabramsha today. Originally it is called Mumbai. Actually it is called Mumba Devi. Mumba Devi was worshipped in Mumbai, actually Durga, Parvati. So Mumba Devi, she is the main worshipable deity in that region. So Amba, Mumba Devi or mother, universal mother, or Amba, mother. So that Mumba eventually became Bombay. Mumbai, it became Bombay, Apabramsha. This Britishers, when they came, lot of things they could not pronounce. I have a list, I'll tell you later. It's very interesting. So how all they've turned the spellings. Very complex and very strange. So that's why it became Bombay. Anyway, so not sister. Sister? ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಗ ಕೊಡಿ? No. Mother, not sister. So it's a mother, sister is a loose usage, not right. Then I'll close with the last interesting reference. In 1925, when Prabhupada, he and Prabhupada and his son, they were going somewhere. And they were walking and going. And then they saw one picture. There was one woman in that picture. So Prabhupada says, oh, mother, 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 Mataji, Mataji, like that. Because he is being trained to look upon every woman as mother. His mother, Radharani, Prabhupada's wife was named Radharani. So his mother was at home actually. But because he's being trained to look at every woman and address at every woman as mother, the moment he will see any woman, he'll say, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, mother, mother. So like that. So Prabhupada said, this is the success. This is the beauty of Vedic culture. With no cost of contamination. From childhood, if we train the children, young, to treat every unknown, therefore every unknown man is treated as son, every unknown woman is treated as mother. This is Vedic system. Then there'll be no danger, more or less. Still, although one has to be on guard. 100% safety is there when your senses become completely spiritualized or Krishna conscious, completely purified. Then there is no danger by having these senses. In fact, it's a great inspiration because we can engage all the senses in the seva of the Lord. We require the senses to serve the Lord. So it will become a great asset, opportunity for using the senses in the seva of the Lord. So I'll stop here. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.